Union Station.
The station is primarily used for transportation. It was built in the Beaux Art style and is a mixture of Greek and Roman architecture. The patterns on the floor mirror that of the ceiling, creating a harmony-like feature. Tuscan columns are used on the exterior and Corinthian are used on the interior. It is currently undergoing a $1 million renovation.
Fairmont Royal York Hotel.
Fairmont Royal York Hotel was opened in 1929 in the Chateau style of architecture. There's a beautiful hand-painted wood ceiling in the lobby. The building is comprised of brick, copper, stone, concrete, and steel. It was built by CP Railway.
Royal Bank Plaza.
The Royal Bank Plaza was built in 1979 in the postmodern style and houses the headquarters of the Royal Bank of Canada. It is considered a skyscraper, standing at over 180 meters in height. There are 14,000 windows coated in 24-karat gold, which acts as an excellent insulator. The design was a result of a charrette day-like competition.
Toronto Dominion Center.
The Toronto Dominion Center was designed by Miss Van der Rohe, who famously said, "God is in the details." Simple but beautiful. Exposed I-beams on the exterior show the structure of the buildings. It is very similar to the Seagram building, as most international buildings are. There were 6 towers constructed between 1967 and 1991 that are primarily used in the leasing/financial bracket. The materials that comprise the building structure are bronze-tinted glass, black steel, and aluminum.
First Canadian Place.
First Canadian Place finished construction in 1975 and was built in the international style. It is the tallest building in Canada, standing at over 355 meters to the very top. It is primarily used for commerce and finance. The building is made of wood, glass, steel, and white marble. The white marble had to be replaced once it started falling down and endangering the lives of walking civilians.
Scotia Plaza.
The Scotia Plaza's original tower was built between 1946 and 1951 in the Art Deco style. The building was made of limestone, concrete, and steel. The new building was another project by WZMH Architects and was built between 1986 and 1988 in the postmodern style. It was built with a red Napoleon granite quarried in Sweden, then cut and polished in Italy, then finally imported to Canada. The rest of the building was reinforced concrete and black tinted windows.
CIBC Plaza.
The old CIBC Plaza building finished construction in 1930 in the Beaux Art style. The architects were Pearson and Darling, with Sawyer and York. Inside is a great barrel vault lobby featuring hexagonal patterns and amazing details. At the top of the outside of the building are 4 heads, each representing a different value the bank upholds: courage, observation, foresight, and enterprise. The materials of the building are concrete, limestone, and steel. The new tower was built between 1972 and 1976 in the international style. It is the opposite of the old building, as it is flat and boring. The architects were Pye, Cobb, Freed, and partners with Page and Steel. The materials used in the building are stainless steel and a glass curtain wall.
Brookfield Place.
Brookfield Place was designed by Bay Wellington and was completed in 1992 in the postmodern style. The 2 buildings are connected by a 6-story galleria designed to resemble a palm tree forest. At the very end of the galleria, you'll find a very old facade that was moved there after the rest of the building was destroyed in a fire in 1904. It was moved there stone by stone, and you can still see the markings of the fire. The galleria itself is made of computer-designed steel posts that fit perfectly between the 2 buildings. The buildings are made of concrete, glass, steel, and stone.
Hockey Hall of Fame.
This building houses the Hockey Hall of Fame Museum. It was built in 1885 in the Beaux Art style and was used as the BMO head office until 1982. It wasn't until 1993 that it was reopened to the hockey fans. It is good to point out that this is one of the few buildings that survived the terrible fire in 1904. Another interesting feature is that apparently it has 2 main entrances, but the main entrance is found right in the corner. All makes this building a very unique part of Toronto's history.
Sony Center for the Performing Arts.
Built in 1960, the Sony Center exemplifies the mid-century modern style, noticeable in its great cantilevered canopy at its main entrance. The materials used on its construction were Alabama limestone, glazing, granite, copper, bronze, marble, concrete, and many others that can be found on great buildings of the same architectural movement. Behind it is an easy-to-miss abnormally shaped building, the L Tower, just completed in 2015 and built in the deconstructionist style.
St. Lawrence Center for the Arts.
Guess what? Concrete time! The brutalist-style St. Lawrence Center for the Arts was built in 1967. right in the heyday of this awful architectural style. It's been focused on the arts and used as theater space for musical productions. Besides its use of concrete, it also uses glass and steel, believe it or not, but, well, mainly concrete. Apart from its look, it is easy to miss how much work is required from the builders in order to attain those little details in the concrete. For instance, the straight horizontal lines that gives this building its harmony.
The Flatiron Building.
Watch out! This is not New York's well-known Flatiron Building, nor is it a replica of it. As a matter of fact, our Toronto's Flatiron was built in 1892, which makes it older and more important than its New York relative. It hasn't had the same cinematic exposure as New York's, but it features great architectural characteristics. Its use of round, Roman and Gothic pointed arches at the same time gives it a sharp, Romanesque and French Gothic styled appearance. Its architect, David Roberts Jr., designed it using red, brick, copper, and iron. Because of the triangular shape of the plot, it resembles a cast iron, which gives it its name. The real name is the Gotterham, which comes from the Gutterham family.
Beardmore Building.
Beardmore Building was built in the 1870s in the Second Empire style. Its structure, which was made of brick, load-bearing walls, cast iron facade over a basic warehouse of timber frame, slate roofs, etc., allows it to have large windows. This gives it its nice look as well as its status as heritage building.
St. Lawrence Market.
Apart from being the perfect place to spend your entire monthly budget in one day, it is a great example of the influence the Industrial Revolution had in architecture. Used first as the Toronto Very First City Hall and Jail, it was built up with tinted glass, limestone, granite, red brick, and white stone. We have to recognize that we didn't take enough pictures because we were too busy dealing with an exquisite pulled pork sandwich. But we weren't the only weak ones. William fell into the clutches of the croissant too. Good to know. Kathleen says that Saturdays mornings are perfect to visit it. Apparently, at that time is when the good stuff is found. So take into account if you're planning to lose money.
St. Lawrence Hall.
Planning to have your wedding soon? No? Okay, me neither. Either way, the St. Lawrence Hall is perfect for those special events. This is due to its great Renaissance Revival style design by William Thomas. William Thomas incorporated different characteristics of styles that should not work together into this building. It resembles the Tempiero of Ramanta.
St. James Cathedral.
St. James Cathedral is an amazing example of the Gothic Revival style. It was completed in 1874, after 24 years. There are a plethora of different common Gothic pieces included in this building. Think flying buttresses, pointed arches, ribbed walls, pinnacles, stained glass, and many others. Its towers and spire are the tallest in Canada and the second tallest in North America. St. James has burned down 3 separate times. It was built with local stone, brick, and copper.
Toronto Post Office.
The Toronto Post Office was built between 1851 and 1853. It was Toronto's 7th post office and home to the Internal Revenue Service and the Bank of Canada. It is now a private investment firm. The building is primarily made of stone.
Consumers Gas Building.
The Consumers Gas Building was built by Dick and Grant Architects in 1852. The facade was designed by Davis B. Dick and was completed in 1899. The Consumer Gas Building is a duck. It has an amazing facade and everything else is boring as hell. Its style is Renaissance Revival. It is now the Rosewood Supper Club. It was made with stone and concrete.